Hey, what's poppin'? JinBop here, coming today with another reading tweets video. So last time I asked you guys to ask me a couple questions, and this time I literally said, took me some questions. And you guys did, and you'll see this time around I have Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook, Dungeons Master's Guide, and I guess you can't really see the monster manual behind it, but I thought it'd be really cool if I just set up a couple props here every time I do one of these so you guys have a better insight as to what I'm like as a person and my interests and how big of a fucking nerd I am and how I have no life. Sam of the Gaming asks, what's your top 5 games other than Fire Emblem? Oh, alright, starting from the top, I'd probably say it has to go Legend of Zelda, Metal Gear Solid, which is one of my favorite franchises of all time, Ratchet and Clank, because I had so much fun with those games growing up. I'm gonna go ahead and say the next 2 slots are gonna have to go to Ace Attorney, for those of you who know the Phoenix Wright games, and Harvest Moon. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I also grew up playing some games like Halo, Gears of War, but for some reason, like, these are the games that always really appeal to me, the sort of like comical, magical, well, not Metal Gear Solid, but I don't know, each of these things just sort of, these are the games that stuck out the most to me for one reason or another. Harvest Moon, I think, is the most fun I've ever had in a video game that didn't involve killing someone. Man, I just fucking like games. I don't know, like, it's so hard to pick just 5 and be like, yeah, these are the ones I enjoy of all time. I gave you 5 titles, but honestly, you guys, I just love so many fucking games. It's like choosing your favorite child. Like, my parents love me and my brother so much, and we both mean so much to our family that obviously they could never pick just one of us to be objectively better than the other, even though it's supposed to be me. Alright, next one is from Kev, who says, why do you love your job? Like, I'm literally looking right at it. You guys are the reason why I love my job. I mean, I don't think there's any other profession on the planet. Okay, there's probably a couple other professions on the planet, but I don't think there's an experience as cool as getting to create something and then seeing the reaction of the public to it, you know? Like, I just like sharing things that I enjoy with people for as long as I can remember. Even when I was a kid, like, I used to read Calvin and Hobbes comics books, which, if you don't know what that is, y'all need some childhood, like, right now. Go out and buy the nearest Calvin and Hobbes collection you can get. I fucking love that comic series. But like, even as a kid, I just love the comic series, and even if I didn't understand a lot of the jokes because I was like 9 years old at the time, I'd sit down with my parents and I'd read through every single Calvin and Hobbes strip that was in the book that I had, and I would get new books, and I was always super excited running back home with like these new books full of Calvin and Hobbes goodness that I could sit down and read with my parents. A little bit awkward because English is not my parents' first language, so they did have some trouble understanding the comics, but all the same, like, I just fucking love sharing things that I'm passionate about with a lot of really awesome people. Alright, this one comes from Emily, who says, what is one fear you know is holding you back? Other YouTubers, I feel like? I'm not trying to say other YouTubers are holding me back. No, it's the exact opposite. I just feel like I'm really like sort of contained in my own little bubble, and it's a little difficult for me to reach out to other YouTubers. It's like when you're in high school, or for those of you who aren't in high school yet, it's like when you're hanging out with like a group of friends and you see someone that you'd like to be friends with and they're hanging out with their group of friends, but you have no idea what to say to them. I mean, you could just walk up and say hi. Sometimes it works, but more often than not, you just sort of get a weird look and you're like, hi, yeah. Who are you again? And I feel like it's that same sort of hesitation that sort of holds me back as a person and as a YouTuber. I'm going to smack the ever-loving shit out of this microphone because it just gets in the way all the time. Don't you come between me and my audience! But I don't know, that sort of shyness is something that I've always sort of struggled with, and I've tried to be a little bit better about it, about meeting other YouTubers, about making friends in this space, because I don't really have many. But that's also part of the reason why I'm traveling to a lot of conventions this year. I think the first one that I have planned is PAX East, which is coming up in just like a month here, and I'm going to do my best to try and make friends and not be lonely, because I've been lonely for 23 years now. But no, in all seriousness, I do think that is the one thing that's keeping me back the most. I'm afraid to talk to other YouTubers and to, like, reach out and be a part of the community. And as much as I would love to be, like, you know, really embedded into YouTube and all the great creators that reside within it, I'm just a little hesitant to sometimes because I feel like I haven't proven myself yet, if that makes sense in a way. I don't know. That's something I'll eventually grow to get over. Hopefully sometime soon. Maybe this whole convention experience will help me break out of my shell a little bit. But that is the one thing that's been weighing on me the most. All right, this one's from Alexandra, or Pokecat. You guys might know Pokecat. She's the one who made a fan-made game for me on my channel. You guys can watch the link of it. I'll put it here or something. What game do you feel first got you interested in video games, and what aspects of the game made it so? A lot of people assume that Fire Emblem's sort of my entry point into video gaming, which no, it's not. But I think, alright, the game console I remember the most playing growing up as a kid was Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64. And it was mostly my brother that played the Super Nintendo. And as I got older, I started growing up more on the Nintendo 64, just when everything was starting to make the transition to 3D. And so I think the game that really got me into gaming was the only game that we had for Nintendo 64 at the time, which was Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, which a lot of people hail it as one of the greatest games of all time. I can see where they're coming from with that. I absolutely fucking love the game. I've probably beat it at least 10 times by now. But I think the main reason I like it so much is because I have like this rose-tinted gaze at Ocarina of Time, because it was pretty much the first game that I ever played to completion. This idea of getting lost in another world that wasn't yours, seeing what was there, how you could interact with everything, and what stories you could create within the game, a world apart from our world, that's why I fucking love it so much. It's also actually part of the reason why I love D&D, because that's literally the entire point of the game. And above all else, I just had fun with it, and I feel like at the end of the day, that's what games are supposed to be about. I mean, it's not like video games are an entertainment medium or anything. God forbid we ever have fun playing a video game. Oh, God. All right, next one is from Jules, who asks, where did you get Muffin and Dumpling? All right, so Muffin was a gift from my girlfriend at the time. She went to an anime convention that's local around here. It's called SakuraCon. You guys, some of you might know it, some of you might not. It's a pretty big anime convention here in the Pacific Northwest. And they were selling this, like, there's one of my friends from high school was helping run a booth. And there was a bunch of Nemunekos just lined up at the booth. And so my girlfriend at the time, like, texted me. She's like, do you want one of these? And she took a picture. I'm like, yes! God, yes. Funny thing is, Muffin was almost actually yellow, because they had two colors there. One was blue and one was yellow. And I ended up going for the blue one because, well, blue's just objectively cooler. Oh, but JinBop, yellow is my favorite color! Said no one in the world ever. Nah, I'm fucking with you guys. If you like yellow as a color, all the more power to you. And this last one is from Violet Says MC, who says, oops, got here a bit late. What was it like for you to enter into the YouTube business? Alright, so let me think of a proper metaphor for this. Imagine you guys just got into the shower, and then you turn on the shower nozzle, and the water just hits you really hard, and it's really fucking cold, and you just sort of feel like, yeah, like you can't you don't know how to react. You're just like, oh god, this is too much at one time. It's too sudden. That's sort of what YouTube has been like for me so far. And the thing is, I feel like it's that moment where the cold shower water hits you stretched out over the span of a year. That's not to say I don't love it though. Unlike a very, very cold shower surprise, YouTube is actually one of the best things that's ever happened to my life. The people that I've gotten to meet, the fans that I get to interact with, the things I've gotten to create and be a part of, all great life experiences and all things that I'm going to look back on with fondness and carry with me to my grave. But it was sudden. Like, I'm still of the mindset that I'm not really a YouTuber. I'm just a guy who makes videos, and everyone seems to say otherwise, and I can sort of understand. All right, yeah, I have an audience now, so I guess that does make me a YouTuber. But honestly, even a year ago, I was living a very, very different life from the one I'm living right now. I have a recording schedule I need to maintain. I'm working with a network. I have all this sort of like, when I gotta upload things, and now I'm making public appearances at conventions, and it's just like, this is a lot to take in, and a lot of this just sort of happened all at once. And before this, I was a boring college student that no one really paid much attention to. I just sort of sat in my room and played video games, and sometimes with friends. So, in short, like, take the craziest thing you could imagine happening to your life, multiply that by 10, and then make it equally as awesome. And I feel like that's how YouTube has treated me so far. I love every fucking second of it, even if it is a little crazy. But, alright, you guys, that was reading tweets. Thank you guys all so much for your questions. And I use the term questions loosely because when I tweeted this out, probably like half of the responses I got were something like, hey, Jin, what's your favorite number? Mine's blue. Never change, guys. Love every single one of you. But if you guys like this video, like this commentary, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. I almost forgot my outro for a second. How did I do that? Anyways, if you guys like these sort of answering question hoobly-dooblies, go ahead and let me know. I might actually start opening some mail at the end of these if you guys want JinBop to come back. So that's an idea. How about that? But if you guys like that idea, go ahead and let me know, and I'll start doing some more of these, person-to-person moments with you guys, or rather person-to-camera to internet to other people moments. I don't fucking know. But if you guys like them, let me know in the comments below and I'll see if I can do some more. But until then, you guys, thanks again so much for watching. Goodbye.